Hi everyone, definitely Dak here again. Welcome to part 3, which is the final part of our Rainbow website series. In part 1, we built the HTML structure. In part 2, we added CSS style into it to make it colorful, actually bring out the rainbow sense. And today, we'll be doing the JavaScript for it, which is trying to make it very, very interactive. Not very, very interactive, just a little bit interactive, just like introduction to JavaScript, basically. For our goal for today is we're going to be adding a button to our website so that we can change the rainbow colors. So that when you click on that button, it changes on each. I'll be using different color scheme. There's the classic rainbow, the sunset, ocean, purple dream, and so many more. The reason why I'm using different color scheme that's kind of rainbow, like when you go to the ocean, you see like different color. I saw some nice one. Let me see if I can pop it out. You see what I'm talking about? Like this are really nice rainbow scheme. So this is one of the places I picked my inspiration from in terms of even like remember seeing this view? No, it's really nice view. So this is what we'll be trying to add to our website, basically. And I know for some people this will be your first taste of JavaScript. For some, it might not be, but JavaScript just helps is a language that helps make websites very interactive and alive. But if you haven't watched part 1 or part 2, let's take a pause. Take a pause. Go watch those first. I'll try and put the link in the description. Are you ready to make our website interactive? If so, let's code. Before we start coding, let me explain what JavaScript does. Think of it like this. Before I explain that HTML is the skeleton, right? The structure of of your website or what you're doing. Why CSS is how it looks, is the styling. It's also serve as like the skin of your website. Like if you are rating in terms of like the human body. And I'll describe JavaScript as the muscle. Without your muscle, you can move your hands, you can move your legs, you can blinks and all of that. So that's what JavaScript is. What helps make it very interactive, helps make your website moves and all of that. The response to button clicks, it helps change content, helps in terms of okay, you want to make it add animation to your code, and also if you want to like fetch data from the internet, like JavaScript does so much, so much literally. So today we'll be adding JavaScript to respond to a button click in our rainbow website, and that will help change our rainbow color based on what I've shown you. I switched to Google, and I had to write the code one by one, search for the color code one by one, and it's very simple, also very powerful. But once you understand, hopefully understand how much JavaScript does, and you're gonna love it. And yes, so let's go over to add a button to our HTML to help make it interactive. First of all, I already have my code pen open. If you are using any other code editor, yeah, feel free to use it. You should have your HTML and CSS. If you wonder what I did, please go to part 1 and part 2 for both code. Be able to see and get the explanation from there. So first and foremost, I'll be adding a button to my HTML. So I'm going to be adding it right here after my H6. Just click enter. I'm going to be opening bracket button. I'm going to give my button an ID. Color button. Close that. And I'll take the change color. Then please remember to always post. As you can see, my button is already added right here under change color. The ID is very, very important because this is what your CSS is going to use to recognize. You can either use the button or our ID or our CSS. Remember, we always be using the tag that we use. But for this one, I'm going to be using the ID so you will know how to use that. Let's say you're using the tag, right? I'm using the tag button. I don't need to put like an hashtag when I come to CSS. But because I'm using the ID, I have to put an hashtag first before writing my CSS. And also, the ID is also important, not just for CSS, it's really for JavaScript. This is what makes JavaScript recognize, okay, which of your button or which of your tags are you referring to, you know. So I'm going to close my HTML. I'm going to go to my. So as I said earlier, I'm going to add my hashtag first, then name, my ID name, bracket, the curly bracket. Enter. So I want first thing first is I'm going to try and make the position fixed because I don't want it moving around. So like when I scroll through position, I want to position it into the bottom right corner. So put bottom first. Let's say 30 pixels and right, it's the bottom right. So right for that. Okay, so the right. So something is wrong. Let me check. Oh, the ID is the same. Oh, my position I did press. So now our code has changed to the right hand corner back. The next thing is I want to add padding to it. Spaces inside the button. I want to add padding. I'm going to add 10, 15. If I have the space, 30 pixels. As you can see, both top and the bottom became. My button is bigger. But my text looks very, very small. That big box, right? So let me change the font size. Font size. I get to change that to not big. The padding is the same. Let me change the weight because I want it to be bold, right? So font weight. That's what you can see. The next is that I want to change like the background color. Like everything on my website is rainbow looking. I don't want my button to be different, but I won't add like different colors, like so much color. I won't add the rainbow color. I'm just gonna add like a put a purple and the same color. But I'm gonna make it like a gradient style. So I'm going to put background. Yeah, great. I want the I don't forget. 7045 3. Then I already checked online for like what my protocol is, and that's 9. or E hashtag my other color. That is my second color. So the comment. As you can see, it's having that color gradient now. Next then is I want the text to be white. Right now the text is black, so I'm going to text color to color. Just trying to use different color scheme. Yes, no ways to write colors. You just can see how you can write colors differently, and work with that. So usually the enter a create button HTML always comes with a either one border to be this. So I'll put border. I won't put any border there. None. I want my button to be round, very round, not this rectangular look. So to change it to round, remember you have to use border radius. So my border radius, so 50 pixels, and border radius, and now it's round. So I want it to show, then when you put your mouse, okay, it changes, right? So I want it's like, when the mouse touches it, it's like a pointer, just like an cursor of a, do that you bright cursor, uh, pointer, with my mouse, will be pointer, if I put, if I change it back, it's as going to look like. Then the next thing is I'm going to add like a shadow to it. I want to give it like a purple glow. Purple glow. Next thing is box shadow. I'm not trying to the color, so there we go. This then number RGBA. That's another way to write color. I'm going to put F7. I added the box shadow. 0. You can see it's like a purple bit around here. And I want to add like because I don't want it to as those spark. I want to add like a smooth transition. So that'll be, so you can add transition. I want to transform. And the how many seconds and give it 0.2 seconds to transform. You can always change it like 0.5. 1 minute is 0.5 because I think if you want to make it shorter, you can always make it shorter. Next is, sorry, I have to drink. I have to drink my. That means we are all done with our CSS part. So the color is looking nice, the button is looking nice, it's looking shiny. Next thing we'll be going to is our JavaScript. Now we've entered the main business. So let's go to our JavaScript. So for Java in code we already have our different panel for like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you're using a different text editor like VS Code, for example, you have to add a script tag at the bottom or on top of your HTML. Then you have to now create a different file called script.js or any name.js. Remember, when you put that script tag, inside that script tag, you have to put the name that you name your JavaScript file. The enter you're saving in JavaScript file, we save it with .js. Remember, HTML is .html, CSS is with .css, JavaScript is with .js. So the first thing we need to tell JavaScript is go grab the button we created. So in our JavaScript panel, we're going to create a variable. First thing, I like to create variables in JavaScript. Button equals to document dot get element. Remember, it's an ID, so get element by ID. Then here we'll put the name of our ID. Just that. Hold on. So constant means we are creating a constant variable. That means it's not changing, like our ID is not changing. Because you have to manually. The equals to is to assign whatever is on this side to this variable. Is it? So document require means when you say document, this is referring to the whole entire web page, and it's fine. It's going to go through the our HTML and find which element has the ID color button. So it's going to store it in a variable that we created called button. Now JavaScript knows which button we're talking about. Next, we need to grab the body element, and that is because we are changing the body color basically, right? So constant body, just the document. Remember that is our HTML. But instead of get element by ID, our doesn't have it. We are going to use querySelector. So querySelector. Then I call it sector. So body close. Yeah. So the query selector means you should have to go through the web page and find something with that tag, right? So we're changing the body, so it's going to look for we'll find the body tag. And query selector is very, very powerful. You can use it to find anything. So now we have our button, we have our body that we want to change. So let's do some magic. So before we start adding the click for selection, I have my rainbow somewhere, basically. So it's an array. Array is an array, basically. Let's go to new line. Select those. Just to do an array in JavaScript, it has as the square bracket, and outside as that so since I already have my different rainbow color, I'm still gonna go copy it where I kept it, and I'm gonna paste it. So basically, it's an array. It's an array. It contains 6 different rainbow scheme. I have the first one, which is the road leaf. I have the sunset color. I have the ocean colors. The purple dream, the pink paradise, and the forest green. So basically, the sunset color is just warm orange and pink. The ocean is just more like teal and blue. The purple is all purples with some blues in it. Pink paradise, that's the fifth one. Is as bright pink mixed with like purple color, and forest is green. You know, so it's just green. And anytime we click, the goal is anytime we click this button, I want it to cycle through colors. If you want, you can add as many colors as you just add as many colors as you want. So I'm going to create another variable. So because I want it to circle each, right? Let's call current index. Because when it comes to I think it comes to coding, we don't start counting from one. We start counting from 0. One of the reasons why I use let instead of constant that we'll be using that const that will be is because this variable change, right? Because we're moving from one array to another. So it's counting it like 1, sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? Because it changes, right? So we can't use constant. Because this thing is changing. It's starting from 0 all the way to 1. So the next thing is these are basically most of the for the magic app. Remember we called our button. We gave it a name called button. So we're going to write button dot add event listener. So the event listener will be click dot control bracket. Remember I open one uh, bracket here. Close that. So basically, add event listener is a very powerful JavaScript method. It's an A when something is done, basically like in an event. And the event I want it to be is click. That's why I had click here. So when there's any, you know, that, okay, you're clicking. Somebody's always clicking it. Run this function. So everything within the curly bracket is what's gonna happen is what's gonna happen when you click, basically. So what I'm going to add is the current index that I have here, right? The one I named up here on line 50. Current index equals to into brackets current index and close brackets then choose the stage. Sorry. So what basically does is it's it adds one to the counter that we have for our index, right? And the percentage variable.length makes it loop back to 0 after it reach the end, basically. So it means that once it goes to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it goes back to 0. It's not like it just stops there. You want it to go back to 0 again and we do. It's like a forever loop. So as long as the user is clicking the button 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it doesn't get stuck at 5, it goes back. And the next thing I'm going to do is create a variable called colors. Just to rainbow. Current text. That's my. So what it does is that this colors, this new variable I created, it goes to our rainbows. and grab the current index. We're just going to put it in here and attach that to our constant, our new variable called colors. So the next thing I'm going to do is to change the body. Remember, I already have a variable called body, right? I'm going to call my body back here. Body to style. Background. So I'm changing the background. Side of background equals to remember our background is the linear gradient, right? So linear gradient, and it's going from top to bottom. So these I'm putting in different lines so that this is the top bottom. And it's literally reloaded into where they go. I'm looking for my sorry, that's really back. Colors right. It's always reloaded for me, I'm sorry. That's why I get for comma. So yeah, sometimes I forgot to put to so basically this is a template of strings. You can notice the back tick. We are creating a gradient with colors. The colors that joins our arrays in a comma separated string. There we apply to the body background. So I forgot the backtick. The backtick we're just creating like a gradient of colors, and the colors join turns our array into a comma separated string that's then applied to the body's background. So if we try clicking on the color, you see it's gonna change. I don't know if I should zoom in. I'm going to drop the code at the end of the. This is basically code. I have my button created. I have my button variable created. I have my body variable created. You have arrays of different rainbow colors that you can add to. I have an index that helps count through the array, and I have a event listener that helps that listens to the event because I want it when it's clicked a color. So it gets the variable, the current index, and it always changes it. So it goes back to the first one. I have my color that grabs the array from the arrays the arrays inside the array of color basic, and then it applies it color to the body to style the background. Make sure you will click save. So now that that's done, it's fine. So, and if I click on the button now, it should change the color. So change, wow. Change. I went back to the first one. So I went back to the first one. So basically, that's that for our rainbow color rainbow website. Rainbow website. So we've tested everything about it works and everything. The transition is smooth. So congratulations, you've added JavaScript to your website. This is everything. I'm going to print the code, the JavaScript code itself, in the comments. So now we've done our HTML, we've done our CSS, our JavaScript is now very interactive. You literally have a full portfolio worthy project. Even take this further, here's some challenges. Now let's put challenges at the end of my. So create your own rainbow combination, add them to the rainbow array, try different colors theme. You can try Halloween, it's Christmas, you can try Christmas, put in your favorite color scheme, like add it like let's go in a different gradient. You can add a button that plays sound, but for that I know you're gonna need an audio API and all of that for that. Instead of circling in order, you can add random, add a random library whereby it's like pick differently instead of having to go one by one. And to do that, check out maths.random. That's very good. You can add different buttons, add more buttons. Like, okay, you know what? Let me change it to a constant color or something like that. But yeah, that's that for that one. So amazing work of just completing our rainbow website series once again. This ensure that you add this project to your portfolio, share it to your friends and family. You can put it on your resume. You can use this as a foundation for bigger projects. Because like, hey, you guys are going bigger. Let me know what you think about this series. Drop your comment below. Share your code pen links. I want to see your rainbow website. Let me know what series should I make next. More JavaScript project, more Python series. Should I do a website from with scratch for like a complete website from scratch? Let me know in the comments. Once again, I'm definitely that. I just learned the very basic of when it comes to web development. Before I go into my usual keep coding and quick update, I'll be taking a short Christmas break. It's Christmas, everybody wants to enjoy Christmas and New Year break basically. So I'll be taking a short break to spend time with friends and family and also recharge during that time. But I will still be posting some short videos, everything. So hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you can see quick tips and tricks while I'm away. And we'll be back into our full tutorials in January. Probably one more. Also, our coffee and chat series. So many things. So many things. So keep coding, keep building, and remember, you can do this. So see you next year, guys. Happy holidays, everyone. Bye.